How to fix Cyberpunk 2077 micro-stuttering and low fluidity despite high FPS. Welcome back to TechnoBalta. Today, we delve deep into one of the most perplexing and frustrating performance issues plaguing Night City, experiencing micro-stuttering and a profound lack of fluidity in Cyberpunk 2077, even when your FPS counter proudly displays high values. This paradox arises not from outright low frame rates, but from inconsistent frametime delivery, where sudden, irregular spikes or dips in the time it takes to render each frame create a jarring, choppy sensation. Such instability often points to subtle bottlenecks within your system's resource management, be it VRAM saturation, CPU core limitations, driver inefficiencies, or misconfigured in-game settings that overwhelm your hardware's ability to maintain a smooth frame cadence. Our comprehensive guide will navigate through advanced troubleshooting methodologies to diagnose and resolve these elusive performance hitches, transforming your Cyberpunk 2077 experience into the silky smooth adventure it was meant to be. The scene depicts a high-contrast split screen. On the left, bathed in dark, crimson tones, a frustrated cyberpunk character glares at a modern Windows system error dialog box overlaying the screen. The error reads, "Cyberpunk 2077 encountered a critical error and must close." Your system may also be experiencing instability. On the right, vibrant emerald and neon greens illuminate a heroic, satisfied character, effortlessly navigating the neon-drenched streets of Night City with the game running perfectly. The entire composition is in a hyper-realistic, 4K cinematic style with professional lighting. Here are 20 deep-dive technical solutions to eliminate micro-stuttering and enhance fluidity in Cyberpunk 2077. Analyze 1% and 0.1% low FPS metrics, beyond average FPS, crucial metrics like 1% and 0.1% low frame rates are the true indicators of perceived fluidity, as sudden dips in these values manifest as jarring micro-stutters, creating a sensation of instability despite a high average frame count. Employ comprehensive monitoring tools such as MSI Afterburner with RivaTuner Statistics Server or CapFrameX to meticulously track these critical frame time variations, providing actionable data for diagnosis. Adjust overall graphics preset. Begin by systematically lowering your general graphics preset from demanding settings like High or Ultra to a more manageable medium-high or medium configuration. This foundational step globally reduces the rendering burden across numerous visual parameters, often proving to be the most impactful initial intervention for alleviating widespread performance bottlenecks. Optimize volumetric fog and clouds. As identified in user experiences, volumetric lighting and atmospheric effects, particularly fog and clouds, are exceptionally resource-intensive, heavily taxing both VRAM and GPU compute units. Reducing these specific settings from high to medium or low can dramatically improve frame time consistency and eradicate micro-stutters, especially within dense urban environments or during rapid camera movements. Monitor and manage VRAM usage. Maintain vigilant surveillance over your GPU's video RAM, VRAM, utilization through advanced monitoring utilities like MSI Afterburner. Systematically exceeding your graphics card's dedicated VRAM capacity compels the system to offload crucial textures to significantly slower system RAM, inevitably resulting in severe and pervasive stuttering and palpable hitches. Disable ray tracing, RT, effects, while visually transformative ray tracing, RT, integration introduces an exceptionally demanding performance penalty and substantially escalates VRAM consumption. For consistent frame time delivery and enhanced fluidity, particularly on mainstream or older hardware configurations, the temporary deactivation of all ray tracing effects is often an indispensable optimization. Leverage DLSS/FSR/XeSS upscaling technologies, activating NVIDIA DLSS, AMD FSR, or Intel XeSS in performance-oriented modes like Performance or Balanced, renders the game at a lower internal resolution before intelligently upscaling it to your native display resolution. This technique provides substantial FPS gains, significantly eases VRAM pressure, and mitigates micro-stuttering by affording the GPU more headroom for consistent frame generation. Reduce texture quality settings. Texture quality directly correlates with VRAM consumption. Higher resolution textures demand substantially more memory to store. Lowering texture settings from ultra to high or medium can liberate crucial VRAM resources, effectively preventing texture swapping operations and their associated performance-degrading stuttering. Update GPU drivers to the latest version. Ensure your graphics drivers are consistently updated to the absolute latest stable release provided by NVIDIA, AMD, or Intel. New driver iterations frequently incorporate game-specific optimizations, critical performance enhancements, and stability fixes that directly address and resolve various forms of stuttering and frame time inconsistencies. Consider rolling back GPU drivers. In instances where the latest driver versions introduce unforeseen performance regressions or fail to remedy existing stuttering, a strategic rollback to a previously stable driver iteration can, paradoxically, yield superior results. Always utilize Display Driver Uninstaller (DDU) for a meticulously clean removal prior to installing an older, verified driver. Disable in-game VSync and control via Control Panel. Mismatched or poorly implemented in-game VSync functionalities can frequently introduce undesirable input lag and perceptible stuttering. It is advisable to disable VSync within Cyberpunk 2077 settings and instead manage vertical synchronization through your GPU's dedicated control panel, NVIDIA Control Panel, or AMD Adrenalin, or leverage adaptive sync technologies such as G-Sync or FreeSync if your display supports them. Verify game file integrity. Corrupted, incomplete, or inconsistently modified game files are a common culprit behind unpredictable performance anomalies, including persistent micro-stuttering. Proactively utilize your game launchers, Steam, GOG Galaxy, Epic Games Launcher, integrated function to verify the integrity of Cyberpunk 2077's game files, which will automatically detect and replace any damaged or missing data. Optimize shader cache settings. Ensure your graphics driver's shader cache is appropriately configured, either by allowing the driver to intelligently manage its size or by manually allocating a sufficiently large storage capacity. A corrupted or undersized shader cache compels the GPU to repeatedly compile shaders during gameplay, leading to noticeable stuttering and frame time hitches. Set high-performance power plan in Windows. Within Windows Power Options, explicitly select the High Performance Power Plan to guarantee that your CPU and GPU consistently operate at their maximum potential clock speeds without unwarranted throttling. This proactive measure prevents power-saving functionalities from inadvertently introducing performance dips and consequential stuttering during periods of demanding gameplay. Disable full-screen optimizations. Navigate to the Cyberpunk 2077 executable file, right-click, select Properties, then the Compatibility tab, and check the box labeled Disable Fullscreen Optimizations. This often resolves latent conflicts with Windows' native display rendering pipeline that can occasionally contribute to micro-stuttering or unresponsiveness in specific game titles. Close background applications and processes. Even seemingly innocuous applications operating in the background can cumulatively consume valuable CPU cycles, system RAM, or critical network bandwidth, leading to resource contention with the game. Prior to launching Cyberpunk 2077, diligently close all unnecessary browsers, communication applications, and intrusive system monitoring tools. Ensure game is installed on an SSD. Given Cyberpunk 2077's massive asset streaming requirements and extensive open-world design, installing the game on a solid-state drive (SSD) is virtually imperative for optimal performance. Traditional hard disk drives (HDDs) are inherently too slow to load large textures and game assets rapidly, resulting in frequent micro-stutters, object pop-in, and degraded overall fluidity. Configure NVIDIA Reflex/AMD anti-lag. These proprietary technologies, accessible within the NVIDIA Control Panel or AMD Adrenalin software, are specifically designed to reduce overall system latency. While not a direct solution for root-cause stuttering, lower input latency can significantly enhance perceived responsiveness and contribute to a subjectively smoother gameplay experience, making minor frame-time inconsistencies less noticeable. Check and adjust monitor refresh rate. Meticulously verify that your display's refresh rate, configured within Windows Display Settings, Advanced Display Settings, precisely matches your monitor's native refresh rate and your desired in-game refresh frequency. A discrepancy between these settings can lead to a perception of choppiness and inconsistent frame delivery, even when your FPS count appears high. Address potential CPU bottlenecks. Systematically monitor individual CPU core usage in conjunction with overall CPU utilization using advanced diagnostic tools like HYNFO or Windows Task Manager's detailed performance view. If specific CPU cores are consistently operating at or near 100% load, it strongly indicates a CPU bottleneck, which can manifest as profound micro-stuttering irrespective of robust GPU performance. Perform a clean reinstallation of Cyberpunk 2077, last resort if, after exhausting all other comprehensive troubleshooting methodologies, persistent micro-stuttering continues to afflict your gameplay. A complete and clean reinstallation of the game may be necessary. This extreme measure can effectively resolve deeply embedded issues, corrupted core files, or problematic configuration remnants that may be causing intractable performance anomalies. Always remember to back up your critical save files beforehand. Don't forget to follow Technobalta for more in-depth technical guides and solutions.